cardiologist was so nice. 3 people scanned my belly.
What's up, fertility fam? Let's get these babies, ladies.
What's up, fertility fam? How are you? Welcome back. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Tanika. Thank you for clicking on Simply Tanika. Today is Wednesday, the 4th of January. I am in my 5th month of pregnancy. I'm 51 years old, single mom by choice, double donor, IVF, all the fun stuff. Whatever brought you here, I'm glad you're here. Whatever brought you back, thank you. I appreciate you. So today was a busy day. I took the day off because I wanted to focus on my medical appointments, and it's easier for me to line them up all in one day instead of trying to take an hour here, an hour there, because there's something about my job, like once you go into the building, you get sucked into the building. So I was like, let me not be there. I did check some emails. It is what it is. But yeah. So I had my fetal echocardiogram, which, because it's an IVF pregnancy, there's a slight increase risk of heart issues. So in a normal pregnancy, normally conceived, because I don't want to make it like mine is abnormal, but well, it is, but not because of how I conceived. But in a regular conception, you know, the good old fashioned missionary or however you get it, girl, there's a 1% chance, I've gone so far off track, there's a 1% chance of having heart defects, and in an IVF there's a 3% chance. So it's just slightly higher, but my maternal fetal medicine doctor wants to err on the side of caution, so I had that this morning. I'm not allowed to videotape at this facility, so unfortunately there's no videotape, but it was very nice. So it's all part of the same hospital, which it's the New York Presbyterian Morgan Stanley Children's Hospital is where I go, and inside of that there's a women's center, and it's like the state of the art, what do they call it? I think it's the first of its kind in the US, but it's a center focused on women with high risk. And so as part of that, there's a pediatric unit. There's a NICU that's level 4, which is the highest in the country. So I went over to that portion of the women's center today, and it was like a spa, like the way that they had, if you hear noise in the background, that is Justice, who is somehow fascinated by her igloo that she's had for 2 years, but she's enjoying herself. And she's not barking. So, but just if you hear that in the background, no, that's what it is. Anyway, so yeah, it was like a spa. I was like waiting for somebody to come out and offer me some green tea. The artwork, the wood paneling, it was all very calm and zen. Like the lights were a little dim. It was very nice. So I went this morning. That was my first appointment at 8 o'clock to do the fetal echocardiogram. Came back lovely. The doctor was like, it's perfect. There was a resident who did it first, then the ultrasound tech. I think I already said this later in the video, so I'm not going to repeat it. But it was good. They were like, it's beautiful, it's perfect, there's no issues, 98. He was like, what we said today, and his name was Jergens, like the lotion. Stefan. I'm sure I said this. You'll see it again later. But he was like, there's a 2% chance of something else, a murmur, and it will be, you'll know at birth or after birth, like when you go to the pediatrician. So there was that. Then I had an interview with the doula. I'm pretty sure I already talked about that. And then I had the pediatrician. Every Wednesday they have like this Zoom call. So I attended that. I'm excited about that. They were saying the baby needs to come within the first week. They do not come to the hospital. So whatever pediatrician is in the hospital can see the baby. But within the first week, I don't know why. Yeah, the first week they would like to see the baby, and then depending on what that looks like, they'll see you 4 weeks later. Meaning, obviously, if there's some issues or significant weight loss, they would want to see you sooner. So that was good. You're going to see some clips of that call in here. And then I went back in the afternoon for my anatomy scan and my regular MFM appointment. The last time I saw her was 5 weeks ago. Again, it should be technically every 4 weeks, but because I wanted to do it all in one day, we pushed it back a week so that I could have my anatomy scan and the fetal all on the same day because it's easier for me. But I'll show you pictures of the baby. I almost said babies. I don't know why. Baby was super wiggly again today. It was in the notes. So that was there. There's a lot of them. She also did like a 40, but they're so the baby's so little, it's like really weird. But there's a nice side of the profile. So baby was perfect. They all were like, oh, it's perfect. She's perfect. Or I don't know why. Listen, they, it, she, he. I don't know the sex, and I told them I didn't want to know the sex. So, but perfect. So I was excited about that. And then I met with the MFM, and she said, everything looks good for the baby. All of my blood work came back from the last time, so we reviewed that. I had, you remember that nuns had the urine sample, so I took that in when I went for my 8 o'clock appointment. They had already processed it by the time I got back, so that was all clear. Everything looked good. I think she said my creatinine was slightly higher than she would like it to be. I'm not really worried about it because the nephrologist was checking me closely on that, and he was not concerned. It's interesting because the MFM was like, you don't have to worry about what side you sleep on right now until you're in your third trimester. The nephrologist wants me on my left side. I'm glad she said that because sometimes I don't make it to my left side just because I make it and then I want to flip, and the girls are like snuggled in bed next to me, so it just is like it's hard to stay on that side. The maternity pillow or pregnancy pillow does help with that. What else? I asked her if they had nitrous oxide because the doula had asked about that, and she said no, they discontinued it because it impacts the baby and some people get really loopy. She was like, we find that the epidural is more effective, and I was like, I really would like to stay away from an epidural. And she was like, well, just be open-minded because it might be pain that you've never experienced before. And I don't know, I feel like I can do it. I did it the first time, but I understand her point of like not torturing myself or not going through this excruciating pain just to say I didn't have an epidural, like whatever gets baby here safest. My only real concern with the epidural is like based on my first delivery. I didn't have it, but they didn't let me walk around, which frustrated me. And I know like a lot of women who have epidurals get kind of stuck in the bed. I just want to be mobile. And that's what I had expressed with my doula. Is like, I want to be mobile. So we've got time. I have not, once I officially hire the doula, we'll make up my birth plan. And yeah, Liberty, do you want to come over here? Or are you just going to intrude in the video that way? At least let the people see you, girl. You want to say hi? Say hi, everybody. There's Liberty, who won't let me cut her nails. That's a whole other story. But yeah, so once we come up with the birth plan, then I'll review it in more detail with the doctor. But I like just peppering the questions in there. They measured my cervix. They would like it to be the length of the cervix, right? So which is indicative of if I could go into preterm labor. You know how some people have a shortened cervix and they have to get a cerclage or other intervention. So they would like it to be a 3 minus 4.5, which was super exciting. I weighed in at 180. It actually said 182. The woman took, I know I already said this too, but she took 2 pounds off for my boots because the big ones. I think I showed them on the other channel. But if you follow me on Instagram, which if you're not, please do, simply.tanika over on Instagram, where I post pics of how my pregnancy is progressing and just of myself. So I thought the doctor was going to say something because she told me that I should be gaining a pound every other week, and I saw her 5 weeks ago. So I was at 179. So that would have been 81 and a half pounds, and I'm at, then I guess I am. That is good. I don't know why I thought I gained, oh my God, I can't count, right? Because it wasn't 189. Oh, that was perfect then. It would actually, yeah. So 80, it would have been 180.5. Okay, I gotta fix my Instagram post because I put that I gained 11 pounds because I don't know why I was thinking that that doesn't make any sense. Yeah. So I was gonna say, because I haven't had much of an appetite, which I'll tell you guys when I do my like technical bump date. But yeah, that makes more sense. I ordered some ribs. I got them over there. But I was like, let me do this video first before I eat the ribs, the collard greens, and the mac and cheese, because I won't be no more good after that. My appetite's been a little crazy, but that's not this video. So I think that's it. Yeah, I'm super excited about all of this. I'll let the clips play and then I'll come back and say goodbye and do a wrap up. Thanks for watching. What's up, fertility fam? I just left my fetal echo. Everything looks great. I'm excited. It's 9:45. I was late to this. I have a 10 o'clock doula interview. I probably am going to be late for that, but we're going to work it out. Hello. So I was 7 minutes late for the doula appointment, what I told her, but then I missed my 10:30 with the Montessori school, which it's fine. It'll all... I don't know if that was a virtual or I was supposed to be there in person. If it was in person, I was never going to make it. But it's fine. It's almost 11. I'm going to figure out something to eat. And then at 12:15, I have the pediatrician appointment. I don't know why I thought it was a good idea to book so many appointments today, but it was my day off. So I was like, let me just get it all in. Or I took the day off. So I was like, let me maximize the time. So her name is Shamika. I'm like 99% sure I'm going to go with her. We talked about the perineal massage using an edible oil. She recommended, because I told her I signed up for a childbirth class just as a refresher, and mine is hospital led. So she recommended a doula led childbirth class. So I am going to look some of those up. I'll still do the hospital one, but she was saying like it's heavily focused on procedures and process versus my rights, which makes sense. That it's a corporation, right? They're going to protect their. It's like HR. They got to protect the business. They're going to. Not that they won't advocate for you, but it's that fine line. If you work in HR, you know what I'm saying. The doula-led one is all about my rights, which I like that. She would basically help me do my birth plan. We would have a prenatal visit. She would come to the hospital, minimum of 2 hours. Since I don't have a birthing partner, she said she would bring like a doula in training to come as the second person if Cheyenne didn't want to be in there. Cheyenne and I have that class tomorrow night, so I think she'll decide. But honestly, I think Cheyenne is too squeamish for it and too protective of me to really be like a good support person. And her being stressed out would stress me out. It would just be like a boomerangy thing, I believe. What else? Oh my God, there was a lot we went over. She recommended eating during labor up until 6 centimeters. She was like, even if they say no, like they're worried about, the hospital's worried about a liability issue in case you have to have a C-section. But if you're calm, everything is fine. If you're starving, that could create you to not be calm and force you into a C-section. She said my hospital that I picked is not super doula friendly. She gave me 2 other hospitals, but I think I'm going to stay where I am because they have a level 4 NICU, which is the highest NICU you can have just in case anything goes wrong. Like she was like, I recognize that you have very expensive cargo on board. But she was like, do you know what it is? I said, no. She was like, boys' lungs mature later. So if they are born prematurely, they probably need more intervention than girls. I mean, whatever. When the baby gets here, we'll figure it out. What else do we go over? Movement. So she's going to send me some movement exercises. She was like, it's all about muscle memory. She was saying she normally sends it at 37 weeks, but since I will probably go somewhere around 37 weeks, that we would start early, but she recommended I continue my yoga. She said prenatal yoga, but I don't actually have to move into prenatal yoga until week 28, according to the MFM. My notes are down here, so I'm looking down here. Some hospitals have nitrous oxide. She gave me 2. I don't even know if they're a network. And again, I wouldn't switch doctors and hospitals just for that. But I have an appointment today, so I'll ask Dr. Lasala about if there's nitrous oxide. And she said she would take pictures. I was telling her that hospital allows pictures in labor, but then she said to clarify, because there's 2 parts of labor, like you're laboring and then there's the actual push part, and see if they allow video of the push part. She said I could do my own cutting, the first cut of the cord, which sounds super cool. If I had a C-section, she would be able to be in the room, but only one person and not the second doula. And she would do 1 postpartum visit after I came home. She recommends doing it in the 2 weeks, but she was like, if you need me to do the dishes or you just want me to watch the baby while you sleep, I'll help you with diapering and swaddling. So just so I have a second set of hands. So I thought that was cool. I don't know if I told you guys this. I'm looking at a postpartum facility. So I think I'll go there for the first week after birth. And then that second week I'll come home. So maybe I'll have her here. And I also can commission her for longer than that postpartum visit that's included in the birth package. Because they have a separate package. Of course they do. For postpartum doulas, like longer term. So yeah. I think that is it. She recommended that I up my therapy to once a week. So I'll probably do that and continue with the group therapy. She recommended journaling and write down the things that I'm looking forward to, breathe more energy into those, and focus less on the concerns of like loss and how is the baby doing, which totally makes sense. Yeah, I totally told her I had an anxiety disorder. Here's what I'm worried about. Her sister has gone through IVF, so she was like, that's her closest experience to it, but she was just like, she's had time to figure out, to give her space, let her lead the conversations, and just be regular is how she said it, and not talk about baby, which is nice because you're more than the baby, which, oh my God, I want that so much for my life, where people don't make every conversation about the baby, because I was telling her, like, when people ask how the baby is, I don't know, so it just ratchets up my anxiety. Like, unless I went to the doctor within the last 3 days, I don't know how baby is. Like, today I got to see the baby. This morning at the echo fetal, and the doctor, the cardiologist was so nice. 3 people scanned my belly. One was a resident. She did it first. Then the OG Sano tech did it. And then the doctor came in. But they did tell me ahead of time, like, the doctor always comes in, so don't panic. So that was good that they said that, because my ass would have been like, why is he in here? He was super nice. He came in and he said my whole last name. I was like, oh, you can call me Tanika. He was like, okay, you can call me Stefan. I'm like, okay. I've never had a doctor do that. He was young and just spry, redhead. He was very nice. So I did see the baby today. Heart is fine. 98% of any issues that the baby could have been eliminated. They're not there. He said there's 2% chance, because the baby is so young, but he was like, it's nothing that would cause the baby to be hospitalized after birth. It would be something that the pediatrician would pick up later. Like, it would be a pulmonary issue. There would be some sort of, what did he say? Like I don't know, a weird heart sound. That's not what he said, but that's the genesis of it. Oh my God, I need to eat. My brain's malfunctioning. Murmur. It would be a murmur. So yeah, let me go eat. I've missed the Montessori class, but I think I'm going to go with the other school anyway. In an hour and 15 minutes, we talked to the pediatrician. We're getting a lot done today, y'all. All right, let me find some food. I'm getting lightheaded, and yeah, I'm gonna lay down for a little bit.
And obviously, we can do that at our weekend locations, so it's something you never have to worry about. If the baby looks good, maybe feeding's looking good, no jaundice issues, those type of things, we usually see you about 1 week after that, and then if things look good from there, about 2 weeks from there. You're going to be given a whole boatload of paperwork no matter where this baby is born, and you're going to bring as much as you can to us, and we'll kind of decipher, what we need the most. There's a little pink slip if you're born in New York. I think it's yellow in Jersey, called the newborn screen, and that is going to be a very important test that we need to have a particular number for. So just please try to bring your paperwork if you can. Yeah, so a few things for the newborn real quick. So no matter where you end up bringing this baby, I highly, highly encourage you right now to figure out what you need to do to get this baby on their own health insurance plan as soon as possible. And to clarify, only thing to do beforehand is to pre-register baby on portal. That is right. So, pre-register the baby on the portal, touch base with wherever you're getting your insurance from. Someone said, are there any medications or tools you recommend parents keep on hand? Yes. I got excited about thermometers, mostly because you're going to get targeted. You can go ahead and register for that incredibly expensive forehead or ear thermometer, and then take it back and then use that money to buy diapers or things you're actually going to use, okay? So really the best thermometers you can buy are those $12 to $20 ones that are basically, you can take them in the mouth, in the armpit, or rectally for newborns. We want to make sure you have a thermometer that can do rectal, because in the first 3 months of life, that's the most accurate way, and fevers are very dangerous in those first 2 months. Any other questions, guys? Well, otherwise, good luck to you. Hope to see you guys soon.
Thank you for your time.
No problem. Take care, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
180 pounds. It said 182, but she took off 2 pounds from my boots. All right. Headed out. Everything looks good. I'll talk to you guys when I get downstairs. Okay, so yeah, it was a super productive day. I had 2 naps in between there. I actually fell asleep during the pediatrician call. I did like the first 30 minutes, but I recorded the whole thing, the audio for it, because I wasn't sure if I wanted to include some of it in this video, so I'll go back and listen to it. But the important parts about the dates, I got that in the beginning. And then I just realized I talked a lot about the postpartum, well, not a lot, I mentioned it twice, the postpartum care facility. So as a background, there's this YouTuber that I watch, Megan, MEGAN without an H, Moon, and she lives in Korea, and she's a black woman. She's married to a Korean man. I think she's been in Korea for like 9 years. Anyway, she had twins, IVF, donor eggs, used her sister's eggs. Anyway, she went to this postpartum facility in Korea. And I was like, oh my God, it's awesome. Like they have full-time nurses. There's a nursery. They have lactation consultants, 3 meals a day, 2 snacks. There's massages and whatnot. It's extra for the massages at the place that I'm going, but where she was, they had the massages. So I was looking it up, and wouldn't you know it, there's one here in New York. It's called Borum, and it offers you a stay. I think it's like 5 days. I know 5 is the minimum. So I'm doing 5. It's like 5, I think 15 and 30. I couldn't afford 30. It would be amazing if I could do 30, but oh my God, I still got to send this kid to school, like university and all that fun stuff. So I am going to check in immediately after giving birth. I'm going to go to the postpartum facility for a week. The next week I get services from the regular doula, like the birth doula, and then I think I'll just hire a postpartum doula to come in. My main concern is, one, I want to be prepared in the event that I have a C-section, right? I don't have anyone that's going to be here with me. Like Cheyenne may pop in and out, but I can't expect her to be here full time. And so the doula was like, she would help clean as far as like dishes and laundry, which I was told her it's easy because I have a dishwasher. I have a washer and dryer in my home. And so like, you don't have to leave here once you're here. But I just feel like that first week, I just want to get to know the baby. I just want to be focused on the baby and I bonding and getting a good nursing relationship. Baby doesn't have cleft. I think I told you guys I was worried about that because of the prednisone. There's a higher risk of it, a small risk, but there is a risk. Baby doesn't have cleft. So that from a nursing perspective, that should be fine. But in the event that I end up with the C-section for whatever reason, I just want to be prepared and supported. And so I think going to the postpartum facility for the week and just being tended to around the clock is my best bet. And, having the meals prepared. If I'm sleepy, the nurse will come and take the baby to the nursery. They'll bring the baby back when it's time for feeding. And I just feel like I won't be overwhelmed and stressed. So that's my plan. And then I'll have, like I said, the doula that I am hiring has some postpartum time built into that fee, and then after that I can hire a postpartum doula. So like the second week I'll have the birth doula come, and then after that I'll hire a postpartum doula. I don't know if she does just postpartum. I'm interviewing one more doula next week. Well, actually next week is the pre-interview of like what qualifications I'm looking for, but there's this website called Boober. Yes, like the boob. And so I was like, I should just want to do my due diligence and interview one more. I did miss the Montessori school today, but I wanted to finish up with the doula so that it just was the way the cookie crumbled, which I'm okay with. I'll contact them and see if I can get another one. If not, I'm pretty sure I'm going with the school that I've already met with and I'm excited about. And one of you guys mentioned it's like, I don't know if it's an East Coast school. I can't remember. I think you said you were in Connecticut or Pennsylvania because you were asking me if that was the name of the school and about the price difference. So yeah. And I want to say, so because the baby is coming like May, June, I will be able to claim that person on my taxes next year, which is awesome because filing as a single person is very expensive as opposed to filing as head of household. So like when I was taking care of Cheyenne, I was filing as head of household, and then like last year I did single. Baby, the IRS they have no love for single people, let me say that. Anyway, why am I talking about this? Because I went through like what I can claim, and there's a child tax credit. I'm not going to qualify for the advanced child tax credit because it's only I would have had to have filed last year with this child on there. So, but I'll get to file for it for my 2023 taxes. So I'll get the benefit in 2024, right? Like if there's a refund associated with it. And then also there's a dependent care refund as well. And I can be refunded up to $8,000. So that'll be good for the first year because the baby will go no more than 2 months. It's probably only going to be a month because I'm taking 6 months off. But if the baby comes in May, that means I have to go back to work in December. And if the baby comes in June, I don't have to go back to work until January. Do you know what I mean? And so I would want, if the baby comes in May, I would want to do November, December, but probably not every day in November because I would want the baby to have time to get acclimated. Anyway, that would be roughly, oh my God, it would be less than $8,000. It's like, it'll be $7,000 something dollars, but I would get that refunded. The next year, I would only have 10 months left at that price because it's up until they're 12 months old or till they are walking and can graduate to the next class. Then each year after that, it goes down $200. So like the first year, I think it's $34.95 every month. And so after that, it would be $32.95. It's not a big difference, but I mean, every cent counts, especially for next year because I'll be paying for hospital fees, like whatever the insurance doesn't cover. So at least being like, okay, I'll get $8,000 back is a comfort. One of you guys mentioned where you live, the government pays for 70%. I don't know what that's based on, but I'm not eligible for the government paying for anything for me as far as like childcare and all that fun stuff. I will get a credit, which is fun, but there's no way they're going to pay 70-80% of childcare in my tax bracket. So if you have that wherever you are, definitely take advantage of it. I think that's something that we still need to lobby for is like universal childcare and paid leave for more women. I've been talking to a lot of you guys and some of you guys only get like 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. I think there should just be universal. It shouldn't be like left up to the employer. Thank God my employer offers 6 months. I think I mentioned when I first started, they offered a year. But anyway, I'm grateful for the 6 months. But those are things that we can lobby our legislator about. Now, I say that on the second day of the House of Representatives not being able to elect a speaker. They work for us, right? We are the government. The government is the people. It's funded by us, by our tax dollars. They work for us. Their salaries are paid by us. So we should hire people that do what we ask them to do, right? Imagine keeping your job by not doing what your employer asks. So I have to look that up, not now, but that's kind of on my radar. The next video I owe you guys a bump date, and then I also want to do a video of thank yous of the gifts. You guys have shown me so much love, and I'm appreciative. I wrote the names down, and I wrote this on the card that came with Ola's gift. So Ola was number 1. Alexis Franks. Alexis, you brought my first gift from the Amazon registry, which qualified me for the registry bag to come because there has to be at least a $10 purchase. So thank you for that, Alexis. Margarita Saucedo, I hope I'm saying that right. LaTanya Hurt from Tanya and Ant, or I think I'll link it in the description. But anyway, thank you, Tanya. Chantel Healy, thank you. Felicia, didn't give me your last name, thank you. And then Genesis, even though you didn't order from the registry, I want to acknowledge you. You and Ola did off-brand, but perfect for what I wanted. So thank you for that. I will do a video so everybody can see those gifts. I've only got 1 pack of diapers, so I'm not saying you have to buy anything, but if you're thinking about going to the registry, the diapers is definitely where I'm in need. I've been researching strollers. I have to have a stroller that's made for this city. And people are giving me recommendations, but they don't live in a big city. Meaning I've got to get on the subway. I've got to get in and out of ride shares, so like a Lyft or Uber or a taxi cab. So it's got to be a baseless stroller, which I finally found one. I was looking at the Doula, and everybody was like, well, not everybody, but multiple people were like, don't get it. It only lasts for 12 months. But I'm like, it's $500 for like, and it has wheels, right? That's like $41 a month, even if I only use it for 12 months. That feels reasonable to me. The only thing is it's not baseless. So that's kind of what moved me away. There's another one. I'm going to go test it out, but it is baseless. Really what I need, the reason why I need a stroller, because I think I said this, like Cheyenne never had a stroller. I would just wear her. But the reason why I would need a stroller is because if I take a ride share, like if I'm in an Uber, when I get out, I don't want to be carrying around the baby carrier, right? I don't want to be carrying around the car seat, like as a baby carrier in my hand, clunking it against my leg. Because usually if I'm out, well, anyway, so I need wheels so that I can push the carrier, if that makes sense. So it's not like I'm not going to the park with the baby in the stroller. I don't go to the mall. I don't go to the grocery store, right? My groceries are delivered. I'm like an online shopping addict, so I very rarely go out and walk into a store like that. So it would be like for medical appointments, other things. And so having the base is a problem because then I would have to carry the base and then I would dock the car seat on the stroller. That's also clunky. So I wanted something baseless. I've found it. It's not sold at Buy My Baby. It's at Pottery Barn. That's the only place I found it. Pottery Barn for kids. So I got to go test that out. If you live in a big city and you have a baseless stroller, a travel kit is what they call it, right? So it's a stroller with the car seat. It's not a stroller. And you have some suggestions or know about something good, let me know. But this one, there's 2 options from this maker. It's Nuna. I'm not trying to be clandestine. It's Nuna. I think that's what I'm going to go with. That I'm going to have to go out because I was talking to Uniquely Ursi and she said she'd tried them out for like her height. Granted, she's doing a stroller that is multifunctional, has other things. Like I said, I just need it to hold the car seat and so that I can walk around the city with it and not have to worry about me holding the car seat. Any suggestions? Greatly appreciated. Hi again. Oh, and then Justice came over. You just want to say hi, or I left them today. Today is the first day I left my house in almost 3 weeks. Like tomorrow would be the 3rd week since coming back off of vacation because I have just been sleeping. I've been so tired. The baby is 10 ounces, so I'm glad that I slept. Like that's a good thing. Baby is measuring ahead. So I'm 18 weeks, 4 days today. I can't remember what she said, but it's 10 ounces. It's good. I would rather it measure ahead, but she said not like worrisome ahead because I guess sometimes that can be indicative of if you have diabetes or something. I don't know. Once she said it was not worrying, I kind of tuned out what she was talking about. I got enough things to worry about. If I don't have to worry about it, sounds good. Stop talking. Oh my God, I forgot what I was going to say. So baby is 10 ounces. Measuring ahead. Oh, I know. I was going to say I would like for it to continue, he, she, they, to continue measuring ahead in case I have to go early. Do you know what I mean? Cheyenne was so little when she was born. She was 5 pounds, 6 ounces. I mean, you can't, it's hard to even, like, she was tiny. And she wasn't a preemie, so I don't want to be disrespectful of anybody who's had preemies. I know they're super tiny. But just, if I could take home a 6 pound, 7 pound baby, I'd be good. I'm not a big person, so I don't expect that I'll have, like, an 8 or 9 pound baby. Donors are not big. And it's said, they say, I don't know who they are, the ubiquitous they, that the baby in utero is sized to fit out of the mother's uterus, right? So that I wouldn't, in every normal circumstance, be birthing a 12 pound baby because I'm not that big. So it's sort of, you know, or like if you're a petite Asian woman, you're not going to be delivering like a 15 pound baby. Like it just, there's something the body knows. Like God has figured that out. I'm rambling now. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions for me, drop it down below. Please remember to follow me on Instagram, simply.tanika. And if you have enjoyed this and it's your first time, consider subscribing. Come hang out with us, sis. If you are coming back, I appreciate you. Bam. If you are still on the journey, I'm rooting for you. If you are a bump buddy, let me know in the comments how things are going. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye. Baby does to us all.